Dream has completed many famous manhunt plays in his time, such as MOGs, traps, and even game winners. However, today we will focus entirely on every trap Dream has attempted in Manhunt. Let's just get straight into it. The first trap Dream ever executed was at the very beginning of the original 3 Hunters Manhunt. This was the fall damage triple kill. Compared to Dream's plays nowadays, this is relatively simple but highly effective. After Dream began the first chase, he stumbled across a ravine. With little time to think, Dream jumps into a patch of water. The hunters soon follow, as Dream quickly places down his wooden planks. All 3 hunters were soon killed in the process. This trap didn't have a massive impact on the manhunt, but it did allow for Dream to gather some essential items for a moment. The next trap Dream attempted was coincidentally in this manhunt also. As Dream enters the nether, he submerges the portal in netherrack. The catch is, Dream formed a path which led directly to the hunters' deaths. Looking back at this, the hunters really should have noticed something was suspicious, but nonetheless, Dream explodes all 3 hunters to death, which creates massive damage. In terms of Dream, this helped him massively, as he was able to gather blaze rods without any problems. 2 manhunts later, Dream executes his next trap as he whips out an end crystal. Before entering the end, Dream decides to get some blood on his hands. As he places down an end crystal, Dream soon begins drinking potions to prepare for what's coming. Then the hunters appear as they chase Dream down, but after getting some distance, Dream turns around with his bow in hand. The hunters then enter the room, not realizing the horror on the other side. Dream shoots the bow, which inevitably wipes out all the 3 hunters. With how close the hunters were to the end crystal, it is no wonder they all died. Hell, Dream took 6 hearts of damage from a decent distance away. This is one deadly trap. Next up is the famous TNT through portal trap. As Dream enters the stronghold, he realizes the hunters have entered the end and set up a trap themselves. However, Dream planned for this exact moment as he counters their trap with his own. You see, in Minecraft, all entities can be sent through a portal, which includes TNT. So, Dream places down his TNT, ignites them all, which causes absolute chaos. With how much TNT Dream sent through that portal, there was almost no way the hunters would have survived. This trap alone was the sole reason Dream won the 3 Hunters series. If Dream went head first into the portal to 1v3 the Hunters, most likely would have never seen the 4 Hunters series. Moving on to Dream's impressive fishing rod trap. In the first 4 Hunters video, Dream enters the nether and instantly begins building directly above the portal, after leaving no trace behind. The hunters enter the nether confused as to where Dream is located. They soon see him above as they begin towering. Halfway through the long climb, Dream suddenly just yoinks Angfrost into the air using a fishing rod. Fall damage ends up killing Ant, as Dream does the exact same thing to Bad Boy Halo. Funnily enough, it isn't just players you can grab with fishing rods, but items can be used too. This trap didn't have a massive impact on Dream's success in this manhunt, but it definitely was made for a funny moment. Almost directly after the previous trap, Dream begins to set up his next trap, that being the Frostwalker play. After just exiting the nether, Dream heads to a lake in the middle of a desert. Dream then begins building up extremely high. Now, some of you may be questioning why. And trust me, you're not alone. The hunters all began asking Dream why. And I can recall when I first saw this being extremely confused. But it all made sense eventually as Dream jumps down from his tower, causing the hunters to follow him, but suddenly a layer of ice appears, which directly kills two of the hunters. This all happened because Dream was wearing boots with the Frostwalker enchantment. This trap had to be perfect to work, as clearly Dream did just that. Next up is the TNT minecart trap in the Full Hunters rematch. Very early into the manhunt, Dream crafts a TNT minecart as he sets it upon top of a tree, and eventually the hunters appear with very little loot to protect themselves. After a few attempts at attacking Dream, the small chase begins, but it is suddenly ended after Dream kills two hunters. You remember the TNT minecart Dream placed in a tree? Well, after he used the shear on the leaf, Dream managed to gain some distance as the TNT minecart began to fall. With little time to react, the TNT exploded in the hunter's face, causing a couple of deaths along the way. This was once again a trap that didn't help Dream massively, but it was definitely a treat to see. In the same manhunt as the previous trap, Dream had just left the Nether as he was about to head towards the stronghold, but the hunter suddenly ambushed him and reveals something Dream never saw coming. You see, the whole time Dream was in the Nether, the hunters have been grinding away, trying to obtain the protection for enchantment. The way the hunters did this was by finding a villager, turning said villager into a librarian using a lectern, and then destroying and placing it on that lectern until the librarian offers you the protection for enchantment. The hunters use this method to eventually get full Prot 4 armor. Now, if you didn't know, it is almost literally impossible to kill someone in Prot 4 armor using vanilla PvP. So Dream used another method to take down the hunters. Dream soon re-enters the Nether, towers all the way to the top, and glitches his way to the Nether roof using an Ender Pearl. This is a common method to enter the Nether roof and has been around for years now. Dream eventually creates a new portal, enters the overworld, and waits for the hunters' arrival. All four of them arrive as they chase Dream down on the Nether roof. Then Dream pulls away, places a TNT down, then he ignites the TNT, leaving the hunters stranded on the Nether roof. This was essentially only way Dream was gonna win this manhunt as he pulled off the impossible. Only one manhunt later, Dream managed to execute his next trap. Whilst being chased by George and Sapnap, Dream was being pressured hard, so he had to think of a plan. Dream realized the cobweb and TNT he had could be used as a trap, so he attempts it, and here's how it went. Dream suddenly turns around, placing cobweb in the hunter's direct path, which both George and Sapnap being surrounded by cobweb. Dream places down several TNT, which explodes, killing the hunters and even almost Dream in the process. This trap was relatively simple, but most certainly got Dream out of a sticky situation. Shortly after this, Dream enters stronghold and discovers the hunters have trapped the end portal room. So Dream begins to set up his next trap to give himself an advantage going into the next fight. Dream gets hard to work collecting a lot of iron, which he then turns into minecarts. You see, there is a mechanic in Minecraft where you can quite literally be squished to death. So Dream places down his minecarts on one single rail. Now, with Dream's minecarts ready, any player who falls in them will be killed in seconds. Eventually, George finds Dream seemingly AFK, so he goes for the kill. However, Dream was most certainly not AFK, as he places a block causing George to fall into the trap, killing him instantly. You see, this worked because a ladder was placed directly in front of Dream. If you attempt to place a block on the ladder, it will be placed one block ahead. This is how Dream managed to catch George in the minecart trap. The next trap was played out in the Four Hunters finale rematch at the very end. After Dream attempts to enter the end, he realized that the portal has been mushroomed. The Hunters done this so Dream cannot enter the end, as the portal was completely destroyed. So Dream decides to get some revenge as he begins setting up the sand trap. This is a classic and well-known trap in the Minecraft community, as it is a simple to set up and highly effective. This is done by creating a 5x5 hole, digging really far down, and then placing crafting tables at the very bottom. Crafting tables are used to assure the hunters can't water MLG. Then Dream heads to the top and begins placing down signs. Dream then layers the top with sand to make it look natural. Essentially, the signs are all connected to one sign, and if that sign is broken, the rest will be destroyed too. And once the signs are destroyed, the sand will go with it, and the hunters finally arrive as Dream executes the trap, killing all 3 out of 4 hunters. This will always be an iconic trap in my opinion. Now we enter the 5 hunters era as Dream is about to attempt his next trap. This time, Dream was about to exit the nether, but the hunters suddenly ambush Dream. With little options left, Dream is forced to run directly away from the portal. Little did the hunters know, this was all part of Dream's plan. Eventually, Dream pulls back to the portal and enters the overworld relatively unharmed. With the hunters soon approaching, Dream opens the Minecraft menu as he begins putting on an Anne Frost costume, using the skin customization section. Now, as long as Dream is crouched, the hunters will look at Dream and assume he is Anne Frost. So, the hunters enter the overworld as Dream begins to walk among the pack. The hunters realize the compass isn't moving, so they assume he is underground. As they start digging down, Dream sends TNT down their holes. This is unsurprisingly kills majority of them, as TNT to the face wouldn't exactly feel nice. The hunters then realize Dream is wearing Anne Frost skin, but the damage was already done. We have now reached the present day as Dream executes the moss trap in the 5 hunters finale. After finding a gigantic lava lake underground, Dream begins to craft his nether portal, but before he enters, Dream decides to ruin the hunter's day. This trap is simple to make, as all you need is moss, bone meal, and a hoe. After hiding the lava below, using moss blocks and deep slate, the hunters appear as they think they have Dream cornered, but Dream quickly turns around as he bone meals the moss and uses a hoe to destroy it, which then causes the hunters to burn to their deaths. This trap could be seen as a meme sort of play, but it actually turned out to be highly effective. There it is. Every trap Dream has used in Minecraft Manhunt. Anyways, I hope to see you all next time.